What is going on, guys? Welcome to another video. In this one, we're gonna talk about something that I think is a very popular topic among the VQ community. I've had a lot of people ask me, what is better, supercharger or turbo? And as you guys can see here, I have my friend Ben. He has a single turbo 370Z, super clean car. I've known Ben for a long time now, and I knew him when he actually put this on the car. And then as you guys know, I have my Z1 supercharged 370Z. So we're just gonna kind of compare both builds, talk about the key differences between a turbo and then a supercharger, and hopefully this information kind of helps you guys decide what route to go with if you are looking to boost your 370Z. All right, guys, so we're gonna briefly, Ben is actually gonna go ahead and talk about his build right here, and I'm gonna pass it off to him right now.
Hey, so this is my single turbo top mount 370Z. It's a Gonzevo turbo kit. Pretty much from the shelves off of Gonzevo, this kit has not been changed all too much. I've got injector dynamics, 1050cc injectors, a 340 liter per hour fuel pump. Nothing too crazy compared to Mr. Ish over here. I would compare my car to his as if I were his little brother. But I absolutely love it. It's sitting at around 500 wheel horsepower, according to my butt dyno, that is. But this is my Z.
All right, so you guys know my Z. Obviously, I recently did in my last video a full build breakdown of this car. But brief details, if you guys are new to the channel, this is my 370Z Nismo. I have a Z1 supercharger kit on it. The blower itself is from Rotrex. It's not like a Z1 blower, but brief details, my car makes about 650 wheel. It has kind of the full package that you need to run flex fuel on it, so injectors, twin pumps and things like that. And I am stock motor, just like Ben. We're actually both stock motor. Like he said, he's pushing about 500, and then I'm closer to the 650 mark. So I'm 16 pounds of boost. I believe Ben is about 13 pounds of boost. So yeah, that's kind of the key differences between the cars. Obviously, since his is on 91, it does not make as much power as mine, but at the same time, mine is pushing pretty much 3 to 4 pounds more than his car. So biggest question that I think a lot of people ask both me and Ben whenever they see the car in person or even social media or whatever, how reliable are these cars when they're boosted, right? Mine has a supercharger, his has a turbo, and a lot of people always ask, is supercharger more reliable than turbo? So I'm gonna have Ben talk about his experience with being turbo so far, because as of this point, I think he just hit about a year since he put this huge turbo on the car.
Yeah, reliability. It's certainly not a car that I'd want to take to and from work every single day, but it really hasn't left me stranded on the side of the road for any other reason that the turbo would cause. I cheaped out a little bit on a fuel return, and because of that, I blew my fuel supply line off once or twice, and the one time it happened on the road, it did leave me stranded. But aside from that, I have to carry a grease gun for my turbo because it is an air-cooled comp turbo, and as long as you really keep up with maintenance as well as preventative mods, so oil cooler, bigger radiator, so on and so forth, you could build a pretty decently reliable turboed from naturally aspirated car. That being said, maintenance is very important.
Yeah, so as Ben mentioned, maintenance is super important, and actually funny story with Ben's car, because I did help him install this kit, just like he helped me install my kit on this car right here. But when he first put this turbo on his car, when it was getting the base map from AdminTuning, we're actually both tuned by Monsef, so shout out to him. But when we put this turbo on the car and he was doing kind of the first kind of logs for admin, the car actually threw an oil pressure light, and if you guys know these cars, that is not a good thing to experience. Turns out that his gallery gaskets were blown, so everything that you see here had to come off again after spending hours trying to install it, and we actually had to pull the front timing cover. Ben obviously did more of the work, but yeah, he did full EPS gallery gaskets, I think a new water pump, and then I believe a new thermostat as well. So this car never saw a pound of boost until it had those galleries gaskets done. And then it's the same thing with my car. If you guys watched that build breakdown video that I made, before I even threw a single pound of boost on this car, I had the gallery gaskets done, water pump change, thermostat. I went a little farther and did like the cam chain tensioners, the timing chain, and stuff like that. But really important part there. If you want these cars to be reliable, whether it has a turbo or a supercharger, you want to do your maintenance. And the biggest thing is definitely gallery gaskets, because so far I've hit about 15,000 miles on my supercharger and still stock motor. Car is sitting here. Thankfully it has not blown. I think Ben
might be at like 7,000.
Yeah, his has about 7,000 miles, which, I mean, that's a lot more miles than most boosted VQs make it. I've seen builds that don't even go past 1,000 miles. So yeah, Ben, what would you say? Are you pretty happy with your experience with having a turbo?
So far, everything's been pretty awesome and amazing. Knock on wood. If I had to do it again, there are some things I'd definitely change, and there's still some things that I really want to do to the car, like installing a flex fuel kit, putting my front bumper back on, and the list is never ending. But it's been a really great experience so far, and I don't think I would change it for all the stuff I've learned along the way.
Yeah, so honestly, I've obviously been in this car multiple times, and even though this car is on 91, I will say the turbo, when it spools up and you just hit that pedal, it hits almost just as hard, if not harder, than my car does. And remember, my car is full E85. You know, it is like over 650 wheel, but I don't make a lot of torque. Ben probably makes maybe around, what would you say? Like maybe 420, 430 maybe?
Purely a guess, right on the money.
Yeah, so I would say, let's call it 430 wheel torque on this car. Mine makes about 470, so it's not a huge difference, but I will say this car, the way it pulls is just crazy. So if you're looking for that like violent aggressiveness when you hit that throttle, I think turbo is the way to go. If you're looking for something that is still aggressive, but a little more controlled, I guess you could say, it's the supercharger for sure. So it's just kind of depends on what you want. But besides that, like, I do want to kind of know from Ben, is there anything that you would change on your current setup if you could go back to before you boosted it? And would you actually switch to supercharger if you had the chance?
Well, the goal originally was to put a supercharger on it, but the man behind the camera stumbled across a turbo kit giveaway, and we made something work, and now it's on my car. I think having driven the turbo as well as driven a supercharged car, sorry, the supercharged Nismo, that's tough. I still think they both have their pros and they both have their cons, but with all the fun and fancy noises, I'd have to go turbocharged.
Yeah, and honestly, when Ben first put this turbo on this car, I really debated. I was looking at mid-mount kits, even though I was already, had a supercharger on the car. I mean, if you guys hear the clips, if you're gonna hear the clips that are coming up, the T51R mod on this car sounds crazy. I don't know if Ben mentioned that, but he does have a T51R mod. And the car currently, as you guys can see, it has a blow-off valve delete. So it is even louder without that. And you guys can hear just the the spool and everything, this car sounds like a full-on fighter jet coming up behind you. But yeah, guys, honestly, there is a lot more details that I think we could go into, but I think we kind of spoke about the basic things, which are the reliability of the car, which, as Ben mentioned, he has about 7K miles on this kit. I have about double that. Both cars are on stock block. They're still sitting here running. Let's cross our fingers that they don't blow up anytime soon. So yeah, but I think, you know, reliability, the cars are extremely reliable because we did the maintenance beforehand, and obviously we do frequent oil changes, and, you know, Ben checks the grease on his turbo pretty frequently. I check the oil on the Rotrex pretty frequently as well. So it's just keeping up with your maintenance. And then besides that, there's obviously the cost, which I did a video on my car with the full build breakdown. I will link that on screen if you're interested in that. But I did spend, I would say, about 14 grand to boost this car the way it is right now. Like Ben mentioned, I actually won this turbo kit that he has on his car in a $40 raffle, but we worked out a deal between him and I. So the kit itself was way cheaper for him, but he still had to spend, what would you say, maybe 3 grand, 4?
Yeah, between 3 and 4 grand on fueling and other stuff that went into it. Tuning, oh man, I can't think of anything else. Fueling, tuning, and gauges. That was another one that I couldn't think of.
Yeah, so he, like Ben actually has the AEM gauges in the center there. You guys can see, I'll kind of bring the camera, you can see them there. He actually has the AEM oil pressure and boost. No, not boost.
AFR.
AFR. So those two gauges are kind of the important ones. But yeah, obviously his build was a lot cheaper, but if you consider the cost of what a used turbo kit cost, it'd probably be about 6 grand. Combined with the maintenance that he did, I would say it's maybe around the 8 grand mark, 9 grand. So cost difference is obviously, you know, mine's higher. But if you guys want my personal opinion, I love the Supercharger. I definitely don't regret going that route. It sounds so good, as you guys can see in the clips, and these cars both have their own personalities. You know, we're kind of like yin and yang, me and Ben, because his car's white, mine's gray. But yeah, we absolutely love these cars, and honestly, I think we both love our setups. So I hope the information that we shared in this video was valuable to you guys. If you guys have any additional questions, make sure to drop a comment down in the comment section below, and then we'll make sure to kind of get back to you guys. But yeah, guys, I do appreciate you guys tuning into another video, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.